so hard.
Yeah, because you're going to make everything a dick joke, dude.
Correct.
It's so annoying.
It's good to know that I'm having impact.
You're a moron. Can you clap at least?
I did not.
Clap.
I would never claim to be not a moron.
True. Better not. That would be literally lying.
I'm your friendly neighborhood moron.
Why can't I hear us?
Why can't
because it's something I'm sure you're familiar with, which is not.
You put it in the wrong hole?
Not knowing where the hole is. Yeah, got it. Okay. Earlier, you made a joke about a specific part of the female anatomy, and I almost was like, "Oh, I'm glad that you know where that is."
No, I just know the word. I have no clue what it is.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes in my stand-up that I did last year was that I think it's outrageous that men can be gynecologists. Like, I just think that is just an insane thing that's allowed. And
they're doctors.
And I was like, it sounds like men like went to medical school just to prove that they do know where that is.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, shut up, I do. I'm literally a doctor. like, well, you're a doctor. It probably, I don't even know.
They're just like poking around.
Yeah, I don't know if you retained where that specifically is or what's going on down there.
They know medically. They don't know sexually.
They don't know interpersonally. They only know literally.
Clitorally.
I tore my ass.
Hold on a second.
I did.
First of all, I just made an insanely good joke and you just ignored it.
Okay,
first
of all, you've never made an insanely good joke.
Second
ever.
of all,
except for the misogynist. I am on record cackling at that joke. That's fair.
Second of all, what the fuck did you just say?
I think I tore my ass.
What do you mean you tore your ass?
Like an ass muscle. I think I worked it out. I think I literally tore it. Because I worked an event all last week, which is why you didn't get an episode, so sorry.
What was this event? Was it ass related?
No, but it was ass. But no, so I work in events, obviously, and I work in a capacity that marries production and scenic components. So any sort of like thing that you see at specifically a corporate event or like a fundraiser or like a gala or whatever that's like a photo op or like pipe and drape or like a interactive moment or like a decorative moment, but also your AV of like cameras, audio, lighting, all of that stuff. I do all of that stuff, not by myself, obviously, but for a company. And last week I was playing Scenic. I was on Team Scenic and I had to like really like dig down deep to do a loadout because we were operating on like 3 hours of sleep. And we had to be out by a certain time because we had to catch flights. It was like a whole thing. And there was a point where I was like bending over into a hamper and I'm like 5'5" on a good day. The hamper that I was like leaning into, was like way too tall. It like comes up to my waist. And I was reaching for something in the bottom and the bottom is like almost at the floor. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, my butt, because my feet were coming off the ground to try to get this thing. And then the day after we left, like when I got home, I was like, oh my God, my butt kind of hurts. And then yesterday I found a bruise on like the front of my leg, like where the hamper was. And my butt, my left butt specifically, where the same leg where the bruise is, hurts so bad. And not in a squat way, like I ripped a muscle way. So I think I tore my ass.
Take a sip of your coffee.
The end.
That's delightful.
That's it. I just think I tore my ass. My left ass.
That's so funny.
Hauling ass for that gig.
Indeed.
Hauling so much ass, I ripped it.
So we...
Sorry, I'm touching my mic so much.
I also have
not to you, to the listener.
That's why I stopped, because I was like, why would she be apologizing to me for that?
To the listener.
Okay, so I also have a silly story. It's not particularly butt related. But
all of your stories and jokes are ass.
All roads lead to butt.
I find that hard to believe, but okay.
No, we had this huge volunteer group come in last weekend and this weekend, a grand total of like 170 something people or whatever, like a lot of people. And every single one of them, because like the nature of the company, like every single one of them's in like their mid-20s.
Sure.
And because I run the volunteer department, I did a lot of talking. I took them on every group I took on like a quick tour of the facility. I spoke about just like what we do at our organization, blah, blah, blah. And several people apparently, let me back up. yesterday we're having lunch with some of the higher ups at this other company, and our COO is sitting next to me. His name is Troy, and he is one of my favorite people of all time. And so one of the guys, I'm talking about the organization. Our senior director of corporate partnerships is sitting at the table too. So like, there's a lot of important people at this table,
and also you,
and also me for whatever reason. And someone from the other organization asked some questions. I was answering them, speaking really passionately about our organization because I really believe in what we do. Blah
doing
blah.
Your thing.
Yes, and one of them said, like, I love listening to you talk about this. You are clearly so passionate. And like really, like you have a really great energy about what you guys do, and I love that. And I was like, "Thanks, man, I appreciate that." And then this other one of the senior leaders at this company just goes, "Yeah, we got a lot of fans of his around the office now." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Have you gotten any new followers lately?" And I was like, "Followers? What?" He's like, "On Instagram." I was like, "I don't think so." And he goes, "Oh, well, apparently you're the talk of the office right now among a lot of our female employees." And I was like, and so I laugh it off because, like, like, oh, that's
no, I don't. I've never been conventionally attractive, so no, I don't. No,
because like this
when you get mad bitches, like unrelatable
because he's in a position of power, and if someone says something uncomfortable, but you don't want to necessarily just be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" Like, you don't want to do that.
I do understand that,
especially with our senior director and COO sitting at the table. And
it's just lunch, and it's like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And so I kind of chuckle. I'm like, "Oh, is that right?"
Like, okay.
Yeah, like, thanks. And he's like, "Oh yeah, a lot of the women here think real highly of Eli Farmer," and blah blah blah. And I was just like, "Okay, dude." And then like he starts talking just like about how good looking I am, which brother,
he wants to kiss you.
Just
say, if you want to
lean
kiss
over
me,
the
just
table.
say that.
Just lean over the table.
Just say you want to kiss a little.
We can make this happen.
You do this right now.
But so, and he's in like his 50s, I'd say. And so he's, it was just like a little awkward, but like I'm pretty good.
You're like trying to go with the flow.
Yeah,
whatever.
Dude, I just want to eat my pizza
and go home.
Yeah, like, and so our COO, Troy, not a whisper, kind of leans over to me and goes, "Hey, is any of this making you uncomfortable right now?"
Slay. The hand on the heart is crazy.
He's okay. So Troy is one of my favorite people of all time. He's a girl dad. I said one of, but he's a girl dad, and so I think he recognizes what's happening here, and immediately like
he sees it going down.
Dude, like I'm a 34-year-old straight white man. Like I'm okay, dude. And he still wanted to like check on me, and it was just like, "Hey, like, is this like too much right now? Are you okay?" And I thought that was like just the sweetest thing ever.
That is really sweet.
I would die for this man.
That is really sweet.
Yeah, it was really great.
I was having a conversation with the bestie from work that you and I were talking about of mine earlier, and I told him that there was a conversation of the three women who work in the branch of the company that I work in, and we were talking about if like who in the company we would trust to watch our drinks, because it's not all of them. I'll tell you that for fucking free. It's not all of them. And I was like, insert name here, I would trust you to watch my drink. And he was like, "That's really nice. You do talk about how you would die for me all the time, so I kind of assumed that, but it is good to hear it again." I was like, "Dude, I love you so bad."
I kind of got that vibe.
Yeah, he's like, "I kind of already got that, but that's great. Like, thank you so much." I'm like,
yeah.
He's the best.
Oh, to finish that story, one of them actually did follow me on Instagram later that day.
Great.
Yeah.
I think I've already told you this, but there was a time that I was talking to my dad about you, and we were just talking about you and certain things that have happened in your life recently. And I was like, Eli's one of the best people I know. He's like a very nice person. And then I was like, also, and my dad goes, "He's a good looking dude." I was like, "Thank you." He's my dad,
what's up, Dad?
He's a centrist, former, recovering Republican, about to be 60, like just straight up. It's a good looking dude. I'm like, "Thank you, Dad." He's like, "Real recognizes real."
Real. Your dad's kind of a stud too. What can I say?
love my parents so much. I'm getting a Billy Joel tattoo in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah.
Specifically for my dad, and I'm so excited. Okay, speaking of being so excited, are you ready to talk about this episode?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do the thing really quick. Okay, ready? Welcome back to Pyramid Guys, Gals, and Non-Binary Pals. My name is Amanda, and I'm your host every single freaking week, except for the weeks that I'm not.
And I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-host who sometimes gets gently sexually harassed at work.
Gently sexually harassed is hilarious. Gently sexually harassed.
I would call it gentle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it harassment.
You wouldn't call it mean-spirited or like vicious or creepy, or it's just like, hey, that's kind of weird. Like that's a lot,
it's weird that he's bringing it up
and like wants to really talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, he thought it was funny, and whatever.
What's the bottom of your pyramid this week?
The bottom of my pyramid is that I have worked 2 6-day weeks back to back. I am tired, and I don't want to do it, and that's it. I'm working too much.
Period.
I need more time to do things for me.
Period. King.
Really? I don't have a huge problem with working a bunch.
Sure.
It is just the having to wake up and like not get enough sleep. That's the only part. Like I have to wake up and sit in almost an hour of traffic. That is the only bad part. I love working. I like being at the office. That's all great. But having to wake up 6 days in a row, fuck that.
Yeah, I get that. I'm also in a busy season at work, and I do really love my job, and I feel like I'm just now getting good at my job. Mm-hmm. But it's the no sleep thing that's kind of fucking me up a little bit. Like, I don't really feel like I'm in my body because I haven't slept for more than 5 hours in the last week or two. Yeah,
good God.
Not fun. The bottom of my pyramid, okay, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable. I'm just going to be honest.
Oh, wow, this will be a first on the podcast.
Fuck you. The bottom of my pyramid, literally me putting out an episode where I crash out on a podcast. Literally like posting that for free on the internet. I stand by it.
That being said, if you want to listen to Amanda's crying episode, you have to Venmo each of us $1.
You have to Venmo me way more than $1. You have to Venmo me at least $2. You got to Venmo Eli nothing. Actually, request money from Eli on Venmo.
No.
The bottom of my pyramid is trying to re-enter friendships, specifically like female friendships. So I have a couple of friends that I have not spoken to in forever. And I don't know how to do that again.
Hit him with the hey girly.
Hey girly, yeah. I have a friend who, and like I guess we're still friends. Like it's even weird. I know a person, excuse me. Oh, I made this with regular milk and I'm going to be like burping the whole time. Anyway.
Milk makes you burp?
Mm-hmm. Regular milk, yeah.
What doesn't make you burp? Water? No, that probably does too.
No, if I drink it too fast, I'll burp.
Oh my God.
But I last year dated this guy and I became really close with his roommate. And we are very similar people, who is a girl. Like we are very similar people. We got really close. And then after he broke up with me, we like obviously didn't talk because how do you do that? But she's a photographer in Nashville, and the other day I was like, I need to get new headshots because all of my headshots are very outdated, and like I don't feel like I present in the world now the way that I used to, and so I like need to like, make this look different, specifically professionally, but also personally.
Sure.
And I tried to set something up with someone I know, and it just keeps falling through, and then I thought like I could reach out to this person, but I just like don't know how to do that. And then without being a fucking freak about it. My only saving grace is that she did DM me on Instagram wishing me happy birthday when it was my birthday in the summer.
Then what's the problem?
I think it's probably like this is like the song Girl So Confusing by Charlie XCX. It's like, girl, this is so confusing. I just like, she's probably not reached out to me in any other capacity because it's weirder for me because her roommate broke up with me. You know what I mean? So she probably doesn't want to be like, hey, like, let's hang out, and be like insensitive. That's what I'm telling myself. That's why she hasn't reached out to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So what I'm thinking I might do, because I still have her phone number, is text her and say like, I'm thinking about booking like a headshot session, but like wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about doing that before I just submit a random like ticket on your website, and then if if the shoot goes well, then say, like, do you want to hang out again sometime? Like, do you want to be friends again? Like, whatever. Because we didn't really have a falling out. It just, like, we just stopped speaking.
I don't know why you couldn't also just reach out to her like, hey, it's been a while. I miss having you in my life.
Yeah, I'm just really scared of rejection. I'm going to start crying. I'm really scared of rejection, specifically when the rejection comes from women. Like, that hits a lot harder than rejection from men, because
who cares what men think? First of all.
And also affection from men is the most unlimited resource in the world. Male validation. That's so easy to get, and it means nothing. Because there's so much of it, it means nothing. But female validation and friendships from females, because of different, like, you know, societal factors, they're way harder to attain. And getting a girl to like you is way harder than getting a dude to like you.
Not according to fucking Gino. Sorry, his name's Gino.
I don't know who that is.
The guy that was hitting on me for all of his employees.
Oh, well, that guy needs to have a hard conversation with his wife, probably. But they might need to do a conscious uncoupling, as Gwyneth Paltrow says. And she's also not the only girl that's like that. Like, because I've been so, like, balls deep in my job, I haven't, like, prioritized a lot of friendships the way that I should.
Oh, there's been periods like that for me.
Like, if we're not speaking, I don't know how to be like, hey, I'm sorry I've been a literal sack of shit to you and just, like, not responded to you or not reached out to you. But I do still care about you. Do you want to randomly restart a friendship? Because I do want to leave space for people to not like me. You know what I mean? If someone's like, I'm really glad that me and Amanda fell out of touch, I did not like her, I want to allow for that to happen and not pressure anyone into feeling like they have to be friends with me.
Right, but how could anyone not like you, though?
I feel as if I am an acquired taste, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's just all very complex, and it's very weird, and it fucking sucks. And I have been thinking about reaching out specifically to the first person I mentioned, to this photographer friend of mine. I've been thinking about reaching out to her for, like, weeks, and I just can't get myself to do it. It's so scary.
I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it.
Because what if she blocked me? Or what if she doesn't like me?
She didn't
or what
block
if she's
you.
like, no, I don't want to. Like, the idea of rejection from women is way scarier than the idea of rejection
I'm happy
from
to get
men.
rejected by women. Give me your phone.
No. I know you get rejected by women all the time, probably.
I don't hit on women, so no, I don't.
Women terrify me.
We've been over this.
Women terrify me. But yeah, I don't know. It's just very strange. And, like, I have found the most abundant relationships in my life to be relationships I've had with women. And because they're so precious, it's just a lot more difficult to cultivate and then recultivate those friendships. I don't know.
Sure.
Being friends with women is hard. And it's great, but, like, it is just a very scary thing for me. And I feel that even about, like, women I see all the time, like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Like
Iggy?
Well, I mean, like, I've been feeling that way about my friendship with Rachel, who literally lives here. But, like, the only time I see her is when we're talking about work. And I hate that. Or, like, my sister. And the only time I talk to my sister is when I'm, like, going through something. And I hate that. Like, I want to just, like, have fun in my friendships with women, and because they mean so much to me. And if I feel like I'm not taking good care of them, that really sits with me. And it's just hard to, like, re-enter a space where I feel like I fucked something up, or, like, something's been lost, you know? So, anyway, I've just been feeling that a lot recently. And it just sucks. Like, I don't want to always be talking about work. I don't always want to be, you know, only talking to people when I need something from them. And I don't know how to restart a friendship that I feel like I let die with women. It's just so confusing. The end. That's the bottom of my pyramid. What's the middle of your pyramid, dude?
The middle of my pyramid is going to, like, a going away party.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, it is awesome to celebrate someone. It's a party, so it's fun anyway, and all that's great. But, like, it almost feels like there's more pressure to make those final moments before they leave count.
And it's like you're celebrating that they're leaving.
That you're leaving, yeah. Well, it's not. You're celebrating all the memories that you've made prior to that.
Knowing that they're leaving.
But, like, whenever there's, like a final goodbye or whatever, it feels like there's so much pressure to it. And granted, last night, like, it was a blast and I had a great time. I went to one last night for actually one of, like, our absolute favorite volunteers. She's like, so like several of our second office employees went out, and she had just like a bunch of her coworkers there and a bunch of her friends there, and it was awesome. But that's hard. It's hard to say goodbye, but it's hard to be totally sad about it because like of all the. And also, she's coming back at some point. Like, she's going away for work, but like an assignment, but it's coming back. And so, like, it's only a temporary goodbye, which makes it easier, but it's still like.
But also makes it harder.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real tough.
That's fair. The middle of my pyramid is something I talked about last week, but I'm really like in the gorilla grip of.
The Glorilla grip?
Yeah, I wish. Of. Like really picking apart self-image, specifically as it pertains to fat phobia. I had a couple of moments this last week that were really difficult, and it's in the middle because I'm better at talking myself out of it now. I'm a lot better at like, my body's the least interesting thing about me. I'm not made for male consumption. Male validation is the cheapest resource on the planet and the most available. Like, I'm better at rattling those like phrases off better. I'm like better at that than I used to be.
Sure.
And it doesn't take me as long to get out of that funk as it used to, but it is still something I fight like almost on the daily to be like, oh, maybe I hate the way I look, and maybe this is like
let's explore that line of thinking.
Yeah, but then it will only take me it doesn't take me nearly as long to get out of that thought pattern as it did when I was like younger. You know, like I'm better at saying like, this is a thought I have, this is not who I am. Like all of that kind of stuff. I'm better at thinking those like obviously things I learned in therapy, but it is still a thing I think about, and it is still a thing that's bothering me. And I know it doesn't bother a lot of people the way that it bothers me. Like there are people who I believe in my life to be unaffected by body image issues, which may not be true, but I perceive them that way. So it feels like it's true. And so it's like, I wish that this wasn't just a me thing, and I know it's not. And also, I follow a lot of big bad bitches on the internet that are like objectively bigger than me. And I'm like, you look great. You look awesome, but not if it's me. Like that's the hang up of like, no. Like you get to look like that. And I wouldn't think like, oh, she's ugly because she's fat. I would never think that about her. But not when it comes to me. Like, I'm going to think that about myself. It's just
that's
like,
tough.
It's so annoying, dude. It's so fucking annoying. My relationship with myself, my relationship with other women has been like something I have been thinking about literally every waking moment of the last like 2 weeks. And it's just been a lot. I'm glad I'm better at talking myself out of it, especially the fat phobia stuff. But like, goddamn, it's still really annoying.
Treat yourself like you treat other women.
It's crazy, dude. The way that people, I know that's not just a women specific thing. That crosses all the barriers and boundaries of gender and gender expression. That like, that's just a universal experience of you can do it, but I can't, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't make any mistakes at work, but this other person can. I would never say this coworker is a shitbag human being or bad at their job because they made a mistake, but I can't make mistakes. Like,
right. Because that means I'm a shit human being and bad at my job.
Right. Like that kind of stuff's just been like, it's just been heavy on the dome. You know what I mean? So
yep.
Anyway, what's the top of your pyramid, bruh?
Top of my pyramid is Kendrick fucking Lamar.
Dude, speak on it.
Okay,
because I know you hate music, so I'm really excited to hear you talk about this. You historically, after every episode, when I ask you your song of the week, is you're like, I don't listen.
Here's a song I like. You just want me to have like a fucking thesis written about every song I listen to.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, Kendrick Lamar specifically. Okay, so I don't think I've ever actually watched the Grammys. However, I am aware.
It's a long program. It's like 4 hours.
Yeah, well, I firstly am aware very much of the beef between him and Drake, although it's not really beef anymore. It is
cooked.
That is the top part. First of all, Drake has a history of being like real fucking creepy, and Kendrick was like, great, I'm gonna write a diss track about that specifically.
Yeah.
He won 5 Grammys, which is as many as Drake has won in his entire life. What is happening?
Rachel's calling me.
She heard you talking poorly about yourself, and she was like, absolutely the fuck not.
I'm gonna text her and say, Mama, I'm recording.
Mama. Is she
calling
upstairs?
No, she's calling to talk about Severance. She's at her man's house. Anyway, keep talking.
Oh, nice. And so Drake has won 5 Grammys ever. Kendrick won 5 the other night.
Yeah, it's the most It's the most Grammy awarded rap song ever.
Yes, and it's the first diss track to ever win a Grammy. But the best part about it is, I saw a clip. The entire music industry is singing along to Not Like Us.
You have to move. You're parked in Rachel's spot.
Oh, is she here?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
it's Eli. I'm going to say it's Eli.
Tell her to give me 30 seconds so I can finish my thought.
Okay, wrap it up quick, because you're parked in her spot.
Wrap it up. Anyway, so the entire, like, Taylor Swift and Beyonce are singing along to a track about you being... can we say the word pedophile on here? I assume we can. Yeah. About you being a pedophile. That is insane. I've never seen anyone get put in a body bag so completely like that. Amazing.
Go move your car.
Okay.
I literally just hit the button. Eli, sit down and be productive. Sit down. I can't. I refuse, actually. You're sitting there? Okay, great. Clap. Not your cheeks, your hands. Your hands.
From now on, when you say clap, I'm just going to stand up and start
Please
twerking.
don't. I would pay money for you to not do that.
Hey, Rachel.
Mom. How are you?
I'm sorry I was in your spot. I thought...
I didn't think you'd be home this early.
Yeah, I thought you were gone.
No.
Well, hello. The triumphant return.
Of Rachel.
All right. What the hell was I talking about?
You were talking about Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, yeah. No, and I finished that thought.
Okay. The top of my pyramid is also the Grammys, because the Grammys this year had so many, like, moments that had been in the making for a long time. Like, Chappell Roan she won a Grammy for Best New Artist. She's been doing music for, like, 10 years. And
then she's not a new artist.
I don't understand how Best New Artist is, like, a thing.
That's wrong.
But I think it has something to do with statistics. Like, if you have a song that hits number 1... and you have for the first time you're a new, I don't know, but she's been putting out music for a long time.
Yeah, then that's stupid.
It is stupid. Sabrina Carpenter was
down
the
with
same
Chappell
way.
Roan.
No, down with the Grammys. Oh
yes.
Shit! Heck yeah, dude. No, she's supposed to be sitting on her blanket.
Yeah, but look how
you're teaching her bad
Look
behavior.
how cute she is.
She has to go outside. She has
Hell
to poop,
yeah.
probably. Sabrina Carpenter's been making music for a long time, and she just won a couple of Grammys. Beyonce finally won Album of the Year. You know, like these like long await. Doechii, same thing. She's been making music for a long time, and she won Best Rap Album. And she got up and started giving her acceptance speech, and she was crying, and she was like, this award was established in 1980, whatever. And then she said, there have only been 2 women who have won this award. And she stopped and she said, 3 women who have won this award. And it was Lauryn Hill, Cardi B, and Doechii. Since the 80s, and women in rap have existed since forever. So like, it's not that there weren't any women making that kind of music; it was that they never won. Mm-hmm. And so it's just been. It was great to see all these.
Wait,
like
Missy Elliott never won.
Not Rap Album of the Year.
That's wild, actually.
No, none of like.
Well, I guess Missy Elliott was also popular when there were like some all-time great rapper, like male rappers.
I guess, but like it's just crazy that it's only been 3.
But good for
Megan
her.
Thee Stallion didn't win it. Like none of these like really bad bitches.
I don't even know who Doechii is, to be honest with you.
You should.
I've never heard of that person.
She just had like
that?
some meteoric rise. Doechii.
It's not even close to how I would have.
She's that girl. She won rap album for an album called Alligator Bites Never Heal. It's incredible. You should listen to it. She has a song called Alter Ego. I'm going to swear a bunch and say something kind of gross because the opening lyrics are awesome.
Oh, she was in...
opening lyrics to her song Alter Ego are, fuck that hoe, fuck that bitch, fuck these hoes till the condom slips. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
It says she was on a Tyler, the Creator song.
Yes, she was on the song Balloon, which was one of my songs of the week a couple weeks ago. Yeah, she's awesome. So the Grammys in general, it was really great to see people who have kept sweeping and not sweep this year. So like Taylor Swift didn't win anything, which I'm not saying it's great that she didn't win anything. I'm saying it's great that somebody else had a chance to win something.
Yeah, and
Billie Eilish didn't win anything either, and that's my MFing girl. Ariana Grande didn't win anything, but
they're also like especially
fine.
Taylor is a billionaire. She could win nothing the rest of her life. And
Taylor Swift specifically, I think, is just kind of over it. Like she's over the awards. You know what I mean?
She was there like dancing.
She's just
having
having
a good
fun.
time.
Yeah, and Billie Eilish was like crying at a couple different moments, and people are like, she should have won Album of the Year, whatever. But like, she was in a category with Beyonce. She was probably crying because she loves Beyonce. I cry because I love Beyonce all the time. And nobody ever writes an article about me. Anyway.
I'll write an article about you.
Please don't. I didn't even know you knew how to write. Hey, let's fucking go, dude.
Yes.
Oh, we have an email that we need to read. It's from Tony. He emailed last week or 2 weeks ago, the last time we recorded, and I totally forgot about it, and that is fully my fault. So he sent an email with the subject line, Amanda, read this email. Hang on, we need to get the diva set. Rachel, people know you're here. You can just walk in front of the camera, girl.
I look crazy.
Come on, Ig, hop up, bruh. Over there. She's confused because her blanket's normally over here. You're not going to fit. Yeah, you got to walk around.
Hell yes.
What
a potato.
Okay, Ig, sit down.
Yes.
No, it's just too
Rachel's still
overstimulated.
downstairs,
Yeah. Rachel's going to go outside and you're going to want to stay in because it's cold. She's going to come back.
Come here.
Okay, so Tony has some tea for us, and I'm so sorry, King Tony. I forgot to read this. That's like fully my fault.
You see it before then.
You're not watching Untucked. You're only getting half the story. Also, if you're not watching the feed of this, the video feed, you should, because this is awesome. Video feed is available on youtube.com/thepyramidpod and also inside of Spotify.
Oh.
Okay.
This is now the rest
you have
of the
to
podcast.
settle. We have shit to talk about. Okay. If you keep scratching her, she's not going to settle. She's going to keep doing that.
Trying to get her to lie down. All right, Iggy.
Iggy, lie down.
Lay down. Look at her little face. Go on.
Just the sounds in
You
her
have something
face.
you want to say?
Okay, anyway. Okay, so some info on Jeanette and Ava and their involvement coming back on the show, and Kira and Kalani not coming back in season 4. So Jeanette and Ava come in during the second half of season 4 as a part of the select ensemble team, and then later get cut from the select ensemble team because she's too tall in relation to everyone else, and Jeanette owns a studio of her own, leading to basically replacing the Candy Apples team in competitions against seasons 5 and 6. Wow, that was a major spoiler alert for the future. That's crazy. So the reason
if we could possibly avoid those going forward,
that would be lit.
That would be. I'm going to forget what you just said, but like, if you're writing in,
let
Tony,
us know it's a spoiler
particularly you,
first.
yes, please announce your spoilers.
I also could have read this email before.
We're not in the show like that, and we've kind of had this conversation before. Like, we love that some people are just like rabid fans for this show. I am watching it for the first time and like being surprised.
Past the point where I watched
you
growing
also
up. This
exactly.
is also now first
this
time.
is all very new to you as
Yeah.
well. So like we like watching it and getting to react to it in real time.
Right.
So like though a lot of you know the lore and stuff like, and that's great. Please either refrain from spoilers or put like in all caps like huge spoiler alert if you write in or whatever.
True.
Because I don't want to hear it.
But Kira and Kalani Kira and Kalani basically disappear after episode 10 because someone, and I don't remember who, but I think it was Kira or Kalani, either said on a podcast or on a YouTube video that they refused to sign a contract with the studio and Lifetime.
Good move.
So that's why they're kind of like in and out constantly. And also Jeanette and Ava are going to come back at some point, which we only saw them for like half a second. It was like one of the moms that Abby saw in like the receiving line of like fans and whatever, but they are going to come back. So spoiler/teaser for the future.
I straight up did not like her in the first 5 seconds of meeting
I didn't,
her.
because she came in and she's like, well, my daughter's talented and she's better than all you bitches.
It's so crazy how much better she is than you, and everyone's
Very
like,
weird.
the hell are you doing?
Yeah, they're like, why are you even in our dressing room? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Who gave you the keys?
Okay, now we're going to talk about season 4, episode 12.
Wait.
What?
You have to ask.
Oh, you ready to get into the content of this episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Do we say that every week still?
We didn't do it on the
been
last
slacking.
one.
Me.
I need to be set up for the bottom dollar.
Also, some behind the scenes tea about me and Eli during the week. If Eli feels like listening to the episode, usually he'll text me like on Wednesday or Thursday, or Wednesday when it comes out, or Thursday, and say like, "Oh my God, we're so funny." And last week I was like, I was feeling really insecure, and I was like, I think I might be the most annoying person who's ever lived, maybe. And then you texted me and you were like, "God damn it, we're funny." And I was like, "Oh, thank fuck." I was like, if he hates this episode, I'm gonna be so sad. But all was well. Okay, season 4, episode 12. It's called Sister Showdown. Which sounds like the name of a video on the James Charles channel. I'm just throwing that out there for people who pay attention to the internet. Okay. Because he always says sister all the time. So he'll be like, Sister Snapped or Sister Slay or whatever. So this sounds like one of those videos. Sorry, I'm scratching my heat rash. Okay. Previously on, we get some of the lore of Peyton and Les because they're going to be back this week. Fallon from last week, like, didn't do well. She was there for one episode. She flopped, so it's like, whatever. And then Kalani and Kira, lore. We don't see them this week again, like King Tony said. But we hear that we get previously on content about them for, like, truly an undetermined reason. Okay, this episode starts in Pennsylvania in the mirror room, and we're talking about winning last week, which is very exciting.
My first thought was, because I don't pay attention to the previously on, because it's usually just
You're trying to watch as little of this episode.
It's just like a garbled bunch of nonsense, whatever. My first thought was, fuck's Peyton doing here?
She's just like already there.
Yeah.
She's like already lined up. There's no like
they're often
surprise.
Yeah,
you know?
there often is exactly like a reveal. Like
I've brought
the
someone
5
in
girls
this week.
I've brought it, and then and all the girls like, yay, Peyton.
Yeah, and all the moms are like, fuck,
Christy
it's
stabs Leslie or whatever.
Yeah. But no, she's just there.
No. So dumb.
She talks about beating Kathy, but you didn't beat Kathy because she didn't compete.
Yeah.
So Kathy wussed out.
Which arguably is even more demoralizing though. Like we were so good, she literally didn't even want to compete.
She was like quivering in fear.
Yes. Shaking in her alligator boots.
Oh my God, I lost my place. Hang on. Oh, this is now last week made 10 competitions where we won first place. They talk about Fallon and Cheryl for just a second.
Well, and Abby says she's still considering them for her new competition team. Why?
And also, what new competition team? She keeps alluding to building a new team and this like very vague threat.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just put up and shut up.
Get off
like,
the pot.
Yeah. And we can't just like cut people out altogether. Like I feel like Abby is like a bad situationship. Like she's a toxic dude. Where she's like, I don't know, might fuck around and bring them back. You know, like, we can't just break up and be done. There's this like, maybe something will work out in the future. It's like, no, this isn't happening. She's not on the team. We can't just cut off. We have to always be like stringing people along, which is crazy. Okay, Pyramid of Children. The bottom of the Pyramid of Children.
The worst child.
The worst child is Mackenzie because she didn't go to the competition. Okay, great.
Yeah, fuck you,
She's literally just says, Mackenzie, you didn't go. Next, and the next one's Nia.
Of the actual bottom.
The actual worst child. Because she didn't have the right facial expressions.
She was very expressive with her face, but just not in the right way.
But like
dude, she's trying though.
And also that's usually the critique that people get in the middle of the pyramid. Because she did do something. It's not that she wasn't doing anything stupid. And then the next person is Peyton.
Why?
Peyton also didn't go, so it should be Peyton, who hasn't been here for weeks, who didn't go last week. Then Mackenzie, who has been here for weeks, who didn't go, and then Nia, if you wanted to put Nia at the bottom, which I still think is bullshit.
I'm not even. It's just the order of it.
It's so stupid.
And she's like, Peyton, you're 16, but you're a baby. All right. Great feedback.
Tell that to her 6-pack abs, because Peyton is the most ripped child I've ever seen in my life.
Well, then she starts crying and walks out.
Okay, so we have to talk about this, because it's so... I had to rewatch it.
It was really abrupt.
I was so confused. Yeah. So Abby and Leslie are fighting already, which is crazy. I don't even know really what they're fighting about.
It happens every single time Leslie's around. Like
the pyramid, every time.
Everything that happens, Leslie has some shit to say.
She's impossible to talk to because she's always wanting to fight someone. Peyton starts crying, I think just because she's upset with her mom, that her mom's already picking a fight.
Yeah, she's just like, dude, we're doing this again.
And so then Peyton walks out of the mirror room.
Yeah.
So then, I rewatched it. And I think it's because Abby says she doesn't care if she's happy. That's when Leslie is like, shut the hell up, don't say that about my kid. And then Peyton starts crying.
Right.
And now Leslie and Peyton are in the hallway of the studio, and Peyton says, like, if Abby had said that she didn't care if Maddie was happy, if Maddie was happy, all of the other moms would have stuck up for her.
Correct.
And that would have helped her out, and that's not happening. But then Leslie is saying, this is why I say that we should never come back here and why I don't want to bring you, but you always want to come back. That's dog shit, because you're her mom. So if she wants to go back to a toxic situation, you don't think it's best for her, tell her no.
Yeah, as her parent, teach her
You're the mom.
to leave the toxic situation.
Right. The fuck? You're her mother.
Don't yeah, you're what is the word? You're enabling.
She's absolutely enabling her.
Yeah.
And then not making it easy for her. She's like, fine,
Right.
we'll go. I'm going to ruin your life
Yeah.
while you're there and fight with literally everyone, but we'll go if that's what you want. Ugh, it's gross.
Yeah, Leslie says she'll talk to Abby, and Peyton is like, just stand up for me in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's when she makes the Maddie comment.
Yeah.
It's so
but
dumb.
stand up for me without screaming. Stand up for me without calling someone like a slur. Stand up for me in a productive way. Be a striker on my team. Don't like actively work against my success. Are you watching the lines again?
No, I
Yes.
I don't tend to. I just glance at it every now and then because
it's recording.
It's just right there.
Yeah, and to make sure it's recording.
But also, yes.
Because one time we recorded like 30 minutes, and the only audio we had was from the camera because I had forgotten to hit record.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Okay, so then after...
Look at me helping out the podcast.
Shut up.
Just carrying equal weight. That's what they'll say. Eli
Eli
call
equal
me
weight farmer.
Eli carries his own weight farmer. Look at me go.
It's stupid.
Hooray.
Abby follows Peyton, and she's now in the den with Peyton, and she says, like, she's like yelling at her and is talking about how great she is, and Peyton like is actually crying. She can't breathe. She's like in between like heaves and sobs, saying how much she loves Abby and the students and the teachers.
Which
Girl,
she's
it was
like
really upsetting to watch.
Yeah, she's like convincing. Abby's like, I forget exactly what led into this, but she's like, I'm here. Fucking Peyton says, I'm here because I love you, and my dude, every fiber of my being was like, no.
It was really gross.
And then she's like, I love the teachers. I love the other kids, which is so funny that she calls them
like,
kids.
I know.
Because she's so much older than they are.
Yeah.
I love the kids here.
Yeah.
Like, you also are a child, Peyton.
Yeah. And
tall
someone
one.
should be taking care of you.
Yes. Because your mom sure as shit isn't.
Yeah, I really hated that scene. And then Leslie goes back into the mirror room with Peyton. I don't know if you clocked this. Peyton has changed clothes in between the den and the mirror room. And in between, she's wearing all Abby Lee Miller merch. So she goes back into the studio wearing ALDC sports bra and leggings.
What that tells me is something happened to the other clothes.
But what?
So maybe she cried and snotted all over him. I don't know.
Or maybe it was like, look how much I love you. I bought your swag.
I don't think to me that felt like something happened to the other outfits somehow, and Abby was like, "These are the clothes we have. Wear these."
Tonal shift, like maybe it was nothing.
I
Maybe it was really innocuous. But
I will say this: there's no way the dipshit editors and producers of this show were that like subtle that like, oh, we had an argument, but now she's going to be in ALDC stuff because she's like fully on the team.
Yeah.
It's not that. They're not smart enough for that.
That's probably true. Except for Brandon, the PA, we love him.
Well, he's not.
But he would never do that.
He doesn't make decisions.
We know Brandon. He would never do that.
No, he makes coffee and gets yelled at.
And makes the headshot.
The headshots,
printouts, Let's see. What?
You went on a rant one time about him.
There's no telling.
No, about him putting up the headshots, and you like in your mind created this scenario where he doesn't just print off a bunch of copies of the headshots and then just uses them week by week, that he had to go and reprint new ones every single week to go put them. I was thinking about that the other day, and that really made me chuckle.
The way I can spin a yarn is crazy.
It's such a strangely specific headcanon.
But I don't know, dude. I stand by it. And because there was also one week where Abby was like so pissed and she ripped down all the headshots and she throws them across the room.
And Brandon's just like...
And Brandon's like, why am I here? And then he's like...
All my work.
You left the reveal. You left that copy paper with your logo on top of the headshot. And you made my dumbass print all those headshots out on 8.5 by 11 medium to heavyweight cardstock glossy finish. And I put the copy paper on top of them. Why did we do that? If you were going to rip them off the mirror, just let them be regular cardstock. Why did I go through all the trouble of recalibrating the printer, buying new ink, buying new paper? What was the point of any of this?
Yeah, it took me like 8.5 minutes to do that, Abby.
Yeah, while everyone was also like, Brandon, where's this thing? Brandon, where's my coffee? Brandon, what are we doing about lunch? People need Brandon, and people don't appreciate him like I do. And that's that on that.
Or ride or die for Brandon. Dude, I again, there's no way we'll ever find this out, but if there is a PA named Brandon, I will fucking die.
PA Brandon, if you're watching, call in. We're standing by.
Tony, we need you to do some research.
Yes.
We need you to find a person.
Please find a PA named Brandon who worked on the show. I will freak out. The fact that Christy has heard of our podcast is something I haven't fully internalized.
And she said, fuck you,
Eli.
Fuck
you, Eli. And also she said our name is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Christy, give me 15 minutes. I'll change your life, girl. Okay. middle of the pyramid.
Eyebrows.
Middle of the pyramid. Chloe is next. She was great in the number, but she needs to be homeschooled.
Dude, I like...
Annoying as fuck.
This conversation is so fucking wild. Abby's talking directly to Chloe, like, hey, Chloe, you would have been even better if your mom wasn't such a fucking asshole and didn't care about your future. And Chloe's just like...
Mom gave a shit about you.
And Chloe's just like, I'm 12. What are you doing?
Like,
can you talk to me about dance, please?
Yeah, thank you for that not helpful feedback.
Yeah, whatever.
The next one's Maddie, and Abby says she was off the charts, but she's not on the top because the top is Kindle. And she says that she...
Maddie looks totally unaffected.
Yeah,
she's like,
okay,
yeah,
whatever.
I know I'm actually the best. We're good here.
Yeah, we're fine. The top of the pyramid is Kindle because she received a technique award, and Abby immediately makes that about herself and says, it means I'm doing something right.
That made me chuckle. I just went, oh my God.
Girl. Annoying. This week we're going to World Class Talent in Rockville, Maryland, which we've never been to before. And Abby says that she brought
No one's ever been to, actually.
Yeah. Abby says that she brought in Peyton because of this idea of this concept, like this dance concept she has. They're doing a number that's inspired by the musical, which is inspired by a movie called Kinky Boots. Do you know what this musical is about?
Nope.
Okay, Crash Course is that it's about
drag queens.
Kind of.
Allegedly.
Yeah. There's a Lola, the showgirl, is like a main character, but it's about a dude named Charlie. This is based on an almost true story. Charlie and his dad like dies or something, and he inherits a shoe factory, and it's about to go under. And so to save the shoe factory from bankruptcy, he begins to make heels for men. And he meets a drag queen named Lola, and they like form a friendship and like realize they have more in common than they thought they did, and whatever. The real story is that instead of making drag queen boots, the guy in real life who inherited this factory started making footwear for people who have a foot fetish and saved his factory that way from the kink community, which is great. Love that for you.
What?
So, that's it. The music.
Wait, boots for people who have
footwear. So I don't know what
that
means.
For people that have a foot fetish?
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Were they're fetishizing their own feet?
I don't know. But
fetish? Can you?
I don't know. I don't have a feet thing.
I don't want to go into that. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not kink shaming. Like, if you're into feet, that's great.
That's great. Not for me, but
not for me either. The music in this musical is by Cyndi Lauper, which is very fun.
Oh yeah.
And it won.
Girls do just want to have fun.
It's so true. And it won the Tony for Best Musical and Best Musical Score. The year that it was nominated, and it also won the Olivier for Best New Musical, which is the British version of the Tonys.
Is that like Laurence Olivier?
Yes. No. I think. I don't know.
Right in.
Wait, I can just Google this.
Laurence Olivier was an actor. I don't know that. I actually don't know anything. I just know that that's a name.
Lawrence Olivier.
Oh, God. Yep. I'm so smart and cultured.
An English actor and director. Yeah.
Bang.
There you go.
Don't write in. I already know everything.
Yeah, because I Googled it. As previously stated, it's inspired by true events. Holly says in her talking head that she just thinks that Rockville, Maryland is just not really the audience. She's like, if we were going to LA or Vegas or New York, sure. But Rockville, Maryland, probably not very like queer friendly. So she's like, I don't know if this is the right. You gotta know your audience. I don't think this is it. The group number is called Lift You Up, and it's about drag, basically, which is cool. The solos this week are going to Maddie, Mackenzie, and Chloe. They are all somehow lumped into the same category. They will be competing against one another, which is crazy.
So how old is Chloe then? Because I think Melissa at one point says the age group is 9 to 11. I thought Chloe was 12 at this point.
I don't know. The math, I'm sure I could run the numbers of how old she is right now based on when this episode came out.
Also,
but how are Mackenzie and Chloe in the same category?
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
Well, I guess there's an award for best overall solo, so they're probably not in the same category. It's like every solo is being judged against the others.
Maybe. Also, I had a comment that I was searching for Dance Moms on Hulu. Yeah, come for me in the comments, whatever.
I watched it on Lifetime.
Yeah, we do that on purpose.
You bitches are mad.
Okay, but one is mad.
One who was really bothering me in the comments on YouTube. Yeah, I did it.
That was a while. I think they've probably given up.
They're like this.
Or they've come to terms with it. But I noticed in like the thumbnail for like Dance Moms, like the show image, it's all of the girls, but now.
Yes, it is.
Which
it's that
I
way
feel
on
like
Lifetime.
It's very strange. It's like it's selling the kids like they're not kids. They're adult. They're great looking women now. Like all of them are beautiful women, and it's like it's selling them. It's like, oh, you think these chicks are hot? Wait till you see them 10+ years ago.
I think it's
maybe you have a reason.
You're
but
talking about that's the mirror selfie where they're all like together.
Maybe.
So they took that at the reunion. So I think it's to market that.
Oh yeah, I guess they did do a reunion.
But not all of them went. Maddie and Mackenzie didn't go.
I don't think they were in it.
And Mia didn't go.
I think Paige was in it. I forget Chloe.
Paige, Brooke, Chloe, Kalani, Kendall. They were all there.
That sounds right. Yeah. It just okay.
But
well,
it
then,
is like.
Then I recant a little bit of that, but
not all of it.
It felt a little.
I don't recant all of it. Yeah.
It's like there's a show about them being children. Don't show them as like literal 25-year-old
like,
models.
Yeah,
it's
that's
I didn't like it.
Maddie is doing a tap number. Pat the couch next to you. Our viewers want to see the pig.
Baby, come here. Come on. She was just like, come on. She's so sad. Help me. You go the other way.
No, she said I don't want to go the other way. I want to do.
Are you gonna come up?
She's a hard dog to pick up. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, because she's so.
Because she goes like this.
She's
just like stiff arm.
Well, she also doesn't like the pressure on her stomach and on her side.
She Derrick Henry like every time you pick her up. Maddie's doing a tap number this week. It's called The Game of Love. Chloe's doing a solo that's lyrical. It's called Follow You. And Mackenzie is doing Maddie's iconic cry solo.
Like, really? It's so weird because it just shows she wants Mackenzie to turn into Maddie. She doesn't want her to be like, you're literally going to follow in her footsteps.
There's a comment that Abby makes later that made me cry when I was watching it. Ugh. It was so hurtful. Ugh. And we're going to get to it. All three are competing for all three. This is what y'all wanted. All three are competing for the overall solo award. And Abby and her talking head is like, well, what am I thinking? I'm thinking maybe it's time for a change. What does that mean?
She just likes making people worried and uncomfortable.
For no reason.
That is her favorite thing to do.
And not being able to back it up. There's no reason. The group number starts rehearsing. The moms go upstairs and they're like, hey, Leslie, what the hell was that about? They immediately start grilling her. And Christy's like, I've never seen someone piss off Abby so fast in the pyramid.
Yeah.
She's like, that's a record.
She's like, we need to get your name on a plaque or something.
Yeah. And Leslie's like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm going to stand up for my... A bunch of just, like, nondescript bullshit of, like, I'm going to stand up for my kid. I'm going to do what's best.
I can't let her talk to my child like that.
Yeah, she starts blaming Peyton for wanting to come back. Yeah. Like, well, I tell Peyton that she shouldn't come back all this... Well, girl, you're driving her there probably. And you're also there. Yeah. You're signing her up. She's 16. Maybe she's driving herself. But you have to sign off and say she can be there. So you're equally culpable in this. Maddie and Chloe solo rehearsal then starts... or with Abby, and Abby says that a contemporary number usually wins, so she believes Chloe has the advantage. Okay.
Totally.
Sure. Sure, Jan. Abby tells Chloe to her face that Maddie is her number one girl.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes.
She's like, well, just to let you know, before you get too confident, you're shit.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be anything other than
shit.
You
are never going to be my favorite. Right. I have a favorite. She's right over there.
And it's not you.
She's right over there.
Crazy. Maddie rehearses first and Chloe's in the room, which I thought was crazy. But then later on, Chloe rehearses and Maddie's there. So they might have just like blocked off 3 to 6, Maddie and Chloe. And they just like swap in and out. I don't know.
Which is a strange way of running rehearsal.
True. Well, maybe not if your girls are talented enough.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know anything about anything.
Then you're still hearing the other music. You're still like hearing some other feedback that doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, I don't know fuck about shit.
Same.
The pig.
She's just oinking over here.
The little icky piggy. She's so cute.
Can you hear her?
One time Rachel had Iggy in her room with the door closed, and I was in my room with the door almost closed because Liza, likes to go in and out.
Yeah.
And I could hear Iggy snoring through the door. She's trying to land planes. She's clearing out fog for ships in the night, sucking down the curtains.
Yep.
That bitch is snoring. It's crazy. Anyway, so let's see. Christy upstairs smells a stunt. She's like,
As she tends to.
Yeah. And she says, I get what Abby's saying about this whole thing that a lyrical number normally wins, but Maddie is doing a tap number, and Maddie has been tapping since she came out of the womb.
Yeah.
So there's no way that Chloe in a lyrical number is going to beat, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar playing basketball. That's her shit, Chloe is we're like we said earlier, we're going back and forth between Maddie and Chloe, rehearsal footage. And before Chloe starts rehearsing, Abby talks about her number being called Follow You and brings up followers on social media that Chloe has. Hey, mama, it's giving jealous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's giving envious of a child.
Yes.
Which is pretty fucking embarrassing.
Also, if she's 11 or 12, girl, you should not have an Instagram. What are you doing?
Well, that was back in the early days before we knew how terrible social media was.
All right.
And Twitter and stuff. What the fuck was she tweeting about in 2013?
I don't know.
Nothing, probably. Abby and her talking...
Going to the mall and the movies.
Yeah, exactly. Being hashtag swag. Bullshit like that. Abby and her talking head says that Chloe has been following Maddie, and that's what this number is about. I thought this number was about having too many followers on Instagram.
Yeah,
I thought it was about people following Chloe, and now you're saying it's about Chloe following somebody else?
She's just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Literally, and these fuck-ass producers are just keeping it all in, whether or not it makes narrative sense. Who fucking cares? All of it's staying in.
Yeah.
Mackenzie comes in next. Abby gives her a very scary version of a pep talk, and then that's it. We don't see any rehearsal footage of Mackenzie at this point. She's just you better be good.
Maddie never did little kid solos like you did. It's time for you to start growing up.
Yeah, Maddie never did little kid solos because you didn't give them to her.
Yeah.
Mackenzie's doing them because that's what she's been assigned.
Yeah.
By her teacher.
Yes.
So if you don't want her to have those, stop giving them to her. The fuck? That's so stupid. Anyway, cut to a commercial, come back. We're 2 days out from the competition, and we do a group rehearsal. And in the group rehearsal, Maddie is doing some sort of move, and she tells her not to go down so low. You look like a freak. Crazy. It's a wonder to me that none of the Dance Moms girls became a serial killer. You know what I mean?
As far as you know.
They just live very quiet, private lives and just seem to be well adapted, B-list, C-list celebrities. But, none of them are strung out on coke. None of them have killed anyone, which is crazy to me. You look like a freak. To hear that when you're 9 or 10 or however old she is, crazy. Iggy, I would never tell you look like a freak.
Honestly, I forgot she was outside.
You forgot Rachel's outside?
That startled me a little bit.
Rachel loves to be outside. Okay, the moms upstairs are not living for this group number. They think it looks sloppy and unpolished and just not good in general. And Abby tells all the girls hey, no pressure, but this is the first group number that we've done in a really long time where Maddie's not the lead. So if you guys fuck this up, it won't be because of Maddie. It'll be because of Peyton, basically, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yep.
Mackenzie, we get footage of Mackenzie rehearsing, and she's doing the Maddie solo. She's doing Cry. And holy hell, this is a difficult fucking number.
Well,
even when Maddie did it, it was really hard.
Yeah. Abby then tells Mackenzie, if this isn't beautiful, I won't be crying. You will.
Terrifying.
What
Again,
the fuck?
How has Mackenzie not killed someone by now? How has Mackenzie not sought vengeance on the world? Yeah, exactly. Crazy. Crazy. And then Abby also says in her talking head that Mackenzie needs to embrace her inner Maddie if she wants to outdance her. No, Mackenzie has never said she wants to outdance Maddie. You are projecting that onto her. She has never stated that that's a goal of hers. She's never said she wants to do that. You want her to do that, and so you want her to clone Maddie and be Maddie.
Yes.
Lame.
That is correct.
Lame as fuck, goofy as hell. On our goofy goober shit constantly.
I'm constantly on my goofy goober shit,
But
and I
in
would
a fun
never
way.
say that to a child.
Yeah, exactly. Not goofy maniacal, not goofy derogatory.
Yeah.
She's on her goofy derogatory shit. Mackenzie like can't get a move right, and so Abby's like, you know what? Let's call in Maddie and see if she remembers how to. Hey, Maddie, come here. Do you remember how to do this? Show your sister.
Come here and be better than your sister, real quick.
I hate this. I really hate the idea of pitting these sisters against each other. It like really hurts me. And the moms upstairs are like, hey, Melissa, what do you think about all this? As both of their moms, like, what's your take? And she's just like, oh, you know, I think it's great. This was going to happen eventually. Oh, what do you mean by that?
What? Yeah.
What the fuck? But you know, I think it's good.
Abby,
That's kind of it.
Yeah, Abby then says, Maddie's like a breath of fresh air. Mackenzie is whatever they spray in the bathroom.
But she says it to Mackenzie's face.
Right.
She says, when Maddie dances, she's a breath of fresh air. You're like the stuff we spray in the bathroom. That's what made me cry. That's what made me cry in her life.
That is so crazy.
Because she's saying that to Mackenzie as Mackenzie is dancing and like working really hard and trying. I know, it's too much. As she's like doing her thing and she like is cutting her down actively and comparing her to her sister. And sister stuff just gets me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a younger sister, and I felt compared to my sister a lot when I was a kid. Even though I wasn't, I put that on myself. But, like, I had friends who would call me, like, Neely's little sister. But, like, my parents never did it, and my teachers never did it. It was self-inflicted for the most part. And so just hearing an adult actually say it to a kid was just so sad. Because you know Mackenzie's already doing that internally. Maddie is probably also suffering from that dynamic of like, oh, people want me to beat up on my sister all the time, you know? So for her to say she's a breath of fresh air and you're like the stuff we spray in the bathroom, that's crazy. And that I paused it a little bit and teared up a little bit because it was just so vicious. Little sisters in the room, rise the fuck up. I see you, ladies.
The thing about
specifically little sisters, two sisters.
Abby's viciousness is it's so fucking effortless.
She know. She says that way too quickly.
She stays so ready to be so goddamn mean.
If you stay hateful, you don't have to get hateful. Like it's.
I just can't imagine how she feels just like walking around being a person. Like she goes to the store. Do you think she just like walks down the aisles, gets her items, and leaves? No. She's finding ways to hate every fucking person in there, especially if they're under the age of like 16.
Yeah, it's walking around in the world like
just
that,
filled with anger,
a black heart that is just rattling around in your ribs. It's
just looking for other people to be mean to
shit on. Yeah. Abby in her talking head says that she wants her to be more than just Maddie's little sister. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You want her to, well, yes, she does. She wants her to be Maddie.
Yeah, I guess. But like this idea of like, I want her to break out of that dynamic. No, the fuck you don't,
then
Diva.
Stop talking about it.
Yeah, stop literally promoting that idea that you claim to want to move past.
Yeah, that exact dynamic is what you're creating,
That's
Abby.
dog
You're working
shit, dude.
very hard to make that happen.
True. Jill clocks that Chloe is still learning her choreography and that Maddie isn't. And obviously Mackenzie, this is like an old number, so she's not really learning anything that is being thought of on the spot.
Yeah.
And so Jill's like, hey, this also isn't an advantage for Chloe being lyrical because she doesn't know all of it yet. So this whole thing of like, Chloe has no, she doesn't.
Well,
she
and they bring up the point, they're like, wow, tap numbers are usually really intricate and hard to learn. It's weird that Maddie has been able to learn hers in its entirety already. It's almost like she had prior exposure to it. Melissa's like, no, there's no.
She gets really mad.
She did it in one day. She
gets so defensive and very mad for someone who's not lying.
We consistently have seen that Maddie gets private lessons earlier in the week.
She's homeschooled.
and has for sure been exposed to dance numbers early so that she can learn them faster and better. We know this.
Yeah, absolutely. We cut to commercial and we come back and then we're one day out. We're seeing Chloe rehearse her solo, and Abby in her talking head says that Chloe is an outstanding rep for the ALDC. Yeah. And I wish she would fucking say that to Chloe's face.
Yes.
Say it in the room where she is, please.
That's like one of the nicest things that she has said about her. She is an outstanding representative. She's beautiful. She has excellent lines, yada, yada. It just goes on and on. Like, bro, give her that face, feedback. Please.
Yeah. Christy says that since this is like a new competition, it's interesting that Abby is picking out something like a drag number to start with, which is like a comment that we kind of heard in the beginning.
Yeah.
And Leslie asks, like, to the moms upstairs, she says, why was Peyton brought in for a number like this? Like, this whole thing was like, oh, I have an idea for a number and I need Peyton here. Why?
And
Christy, without skipping a beat, says it's because Peyton looks like a drag queen. And Leslie so seriously calls her a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not.
And then the other moms laugh.
That's like really insensitive and like kind of crazy. No, you go.
I was going to say, like, drag queens, I think, tend to be biological men, or
True.
like I forgive me, I know I'm not saying that correctly, but
most drag queens are assigned male at birth.
Right.
Yes.
And so they're calling Peyton mannish, like she's not manly
like
at
ladies
all. She's
come on,
six, she's
tall.
taller than the other girls,
Yeah.
but she's 16. She should be.
Yeah, she's tall and muscular because she dances probably every moment of her life.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah. Also it makes me think this is going to be for like 1% of our listeners who also watch Drag Race.
I bet more of our listeners watch Drag Race.
I love watching Drag Race and I want to talk about it with more people. But there's a YouTube video of Brittany Broski and Trixie Mattel, who's like one of the most famous drag queens of all time, probably, especially now.
So famous, I know that name.
Yeah, see, it's like Trixie Mattel and RuPaul. Like, those are people that you
said it to me before, but
also probably true. But
yeah.
There's a YouTube video of the two of them doing each other's makeup, and it's like I think the first one that they were ever in together, and Trixie is like doing Brittany's makeup, and she says, "You have a good face for drag," and Brittany goes, "Is that a read?" She says, "That feels kind of like a light read to say that I'm built for drag. You're saying I'm built like a man." And then Trixie Mattel is like, "No, like that's not what I meant. You just have a good face for it." And she says, it's like saying that like men are built for drag is not a good thing. And Trixie Mattel's like, yeah, like Chad Michaels is currently built for drag. And Chad Michaels is a Cher impersonator who has had an insane amount of plastic surgery done to look like Cher. So it made me think of the quip, Chad Michaels is currently built for drag. Anyway, Leslie calls Christy a bitch, and she's not kidding. And Jill says, speaking of drag queens, in like a look who's talking kind of way about Christy or something, and then Christy like pats the top of Jill's head and she says, settle your poof down, like, patting her hair. I thought that was kind of funny.
That was awesome. Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is Leslie seemed like she was ready for like not a fight, but she was like very offended by that.
She calls her a bitch and is so serious.
But then a couple other moms in the room laugh.
They're like,
then
girl.
Jill and Christy are doing the thing. So they were not in that place with her at all.
No, they were not trying to fight. They didn't want that smoke. They were not trying to fight Leslie. And I don't blame them. I would not want to catch Leslie in a dark alley.
She was tiny and mad.
Yeah, which...
You're 5'5" on a good day.
That's so hurtful.
You said that.
Yeah, and you repeated it. So that's crazy. Leslie asked the mom if they think that Abby will blame her if another number beats theirs this week. And Jill goes, no, I don't think so. And the other moms in chorus go,
yup.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Absolutely will. And Holly,
I was just going to say, Holly knows that if we lose without featuring Maddie, that will be the reason we lost.
Yes,
it's never anything else. It will be, that's just more evidence that I need to keep Maddie front and center.
Yeah. She says it's good to spread the wealth and have other girls be leads, but at the same time, that means that someone, if they lose, it's going to be that girl that gets blamed.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The moms are kind of like boosting up Chloe, which is really good. Like, Chloe's doing such a good job. Look at Chloe, very slay. It's
yeah,
very
and they even say like, Abby knows she's great.
Yeah, we all know she's great.
If only she said it more often.
Yeah, to her face. Then Abby like corrals all the girls together, and she brings in two drag queens, one named Lola and one named Blade. And I did a little bit of deep diving about these girls. Blade doesn't really seem to be doing drag as often anymore. It was a queen named Blade Matthews. Lola is the queen Lola LaCroix, and she's friends with Alaska Thunderfuck and Sharon Needles, which those are both girls.
Hold on.
Listen, Alaska Thunderfuck 3000 actually is her full. Or is it 1000?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That
it just goes by Alaska.
The craziest. Yeah.
Alaska Thunderfuck. Was it 1000? Hang on. Alaska
Thunderfuck.
Thunderfuck.
That is so good.
3000.
That's so good. Are you
5,000?
5,000. Oh,
Alaska Thunderfuck.
You weren't giving her enough credit.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Alaska Thunderfuck 5000.
That's someone with
name.
a sense of humor. That's good.
And then a creepy queen named Sharon Needles.
Sharon Needles.
But we hate her because she's a Nazi.
And also is making a...
Well, she does like Elvira creepy, like kooky, scary drag, but she's a Nazi. But Alaska and Sharon dated when Sharon was on the show. Wow. And then when Alaska was on the next season, they'd already broken up, and that was kind of crazy. But Alaska and Sharon are from Pittsburgh, so that's why. And Lola is their friend, so like they're all kind of in that same group, and somehow Abby knows them. I still don't understand how Abby knows Shangela. Tony, get on that shit, Queen. Let me know. How does Abby know? It's literally Shangela. How in the hell does she know her? That's so confusing to me. Anyway, so yes. So they come in, Blade and Lola come in, and they're like talking about confidence, and it's like very sweet. They like give Peyton a little bit of a makeover, and they like talk to her about confidence. She's like talking to the dolls about like, how do you deal with people making fun of you? And they're like, I just don't listen because I know I'm hot.
Yeah.
The advice of how do you not let criticism get to you being don't listen is great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because it's nonsense. That's
yeah, because they're lying. I'm like, oh, okay, great. I just won't listen to them then. But it's like very sweet. They're like very, Miss Mama, Miss Girl, Miss Thing. It's very sweet. Getting on the bus. Oh yeah, getting on the bus to go to the competition. Abby tells the girls that she has treats for them. Okay, and then the girls eat them and the moms don't, and there's a slow zoom on Abby eating and the mom's watching her eat, and I think it's awful and I don't like it. The end.
That wasn't in my version.
It was really weird.
It was
just like a weird...
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it was just gross. It was like maybe 20 seconds and I hated it.
You know what's so strange? Maybe not strange. It's clear how and why this happens. But whenever there's like a man eating in a movie, almost always it's to show that he's like cool and calm and in control or whatever. A good example of that is Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. He's eating in almost every scene in that movie. He's like finishing something.
Oh,
and
sure.
It's like every single time.
11.
But whenever that happens with like women in media, it's the exact opposite. It's meant to like degrade or make them look bad or whatever.
And that's on fat phobia.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not even fat phobia. It's just like eating food. Yeah. Which eating food is something that everybody has to do. So like it's not
what?
It's not fat phobia. It's just like no, but women
food
have to
phobia.
Be thin and like
be afraid of food.
Yeah, heroin chic and all that good stuff.
Also, I saw a reel the other day. It was a clip from I think it was the Maury show, which is awful. But this woman was she's grabbing onto Maury's arm and she's like panicking, like basically in tears, and she's very afraid. And then Maury yells, "Bring out the olives!" And someone brings out a jar of olives, and she screams and runs away.
I've seen that. It's like I think she has like a fear of olives.
Yes, that made me laugh a lot. So food phobia, that's real.
That is real, I guess. We're in the green room at the competition, and Abby pulls Mackenzie over, and she says, like, "Show me the Maddie face." And Abby is like asking for her to, and she's like trying to be funny and relatable of like, oh, I see on the internet that people are clocking the Maddie face, but
hashtag Maddie face.
It's not giving that. It's giving, I need you to be your sister. It's not like if someone else had said that to her, it might be kind of funny and like topical, but when Abby says it, it's just not. And then Christy, our BFF, says, "Hey, Mackenzie, come here." And she's like, "Mackenzie, be you, girl."
She says, "Don't go out there and be Maddie. Be Mackenzie. Mackenzie is just as good." And then Christy in her talking head says, "Melissa wasn't comforting or building her own child up, so I did, because I've had to have this same conversation with Chloe 1 or a million times."
Great. Christy, I love you.
This is the shit. We haven't seen Christy quite do this like
Christy.
this in a little while. She
Yeah.
did it a lot in the first couple seasons, but it's great to see this come back again because this is why we loved her. Like her mother wasn't parenting her, so
Come here.
fucking
I will
did.
do it because I care about this kid, and I've just had this conversation with my kid many a time.
Yep.
Yeah, very sweet. Maddie performs first. Melissa's really proud of her. She does, she does great. And then she gives Mackenzie a pep talk in the wings. And as Mackenzie is performing Maddie's number, there's a picture-in-picture of Maddie also doing this number at the same time as Mackenzie. Brutal. I did not want to see that. Like, just like such an obvious... The producers encouraging the comparison. Like, get this shit off my screen. I don't want to see this. It's so unnecessary.
That's why I skipped through. That's one of the many reasons why I skipped through the
And then Melissa sobbing on Abby's shoulder. But in her defense, Melissa said, I didn't think about Maddie once while she was performing. Which is you shouldn't.
A crazy thing to say.
You want ass pats for doing the bare minimum, but sure.
Yeah,
whatever.
I didn't even think of my other better child once.
I didn't even compare my children and put them against each other, not even one time.
It was so weird that happened.
Girl. Chloe performs, and then Chrissy says that everyone is talking about Maddie and Mackenzie this week, and they're forgetting about Chloe. And she does awesome, and her ending was, like, lit as hell. Okay, the moms go back into the green room, and have you ever thought about...
No.
The percentage of time that we spend on this show talking about the actual dances, it's like maybe a minute.
It's like
out of like a
2-3
2-hour episode.
Yeah, we
talk about the dances
hour
themselves.
and a half to 2 hour episodes, and it's
2 minutes.
At a maximum, it's 5 minutes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's not just an us thing. The show is also structured that way.
Yeah.
The dancing is not the focal point.
No, it's not what's interesting.
But it is ironically the excuse for mistreatment of children.
Hooray!
So it's like, if that's going to be your buyout, or if that's going to be your cop-out, then show it more. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would think that, like, if Abby's whole MO is, I treat them like shit because they dance really well, I would see them dance really well more to, like, boost that narrative. But I don't really know what the plot of the show is. Is it Abby's evil and she sucks? Or is it Abby's evil and she sucks but she's good at her job?
Or is it the moms are crazy? Or
yeah, I don't know.
There's a bunch.
None of this makes any sense to me. And the moms are back in the green room, and Leslie says it was awkward, like, to be... What? Oh, yeah, Leslie. Weird. I was like, what do you mean Leslie had a moment of humanity? But it's true. Leslie says it was awkward that Abby's trying to clone Maddie. Melissa gets defensive of Abby. Melissa also gets frustrated, by Leslie, like, very quickly, which is kind of alarming.
Yes. Her fuse was short.
Like, Abby would never, like, very defensive of her totally platonic friend who's also a woman. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Abby comes
the implications.
in. Yeah, I just have some questions.
Stop digging.
They do talk about how much they love each other a lot. Abby comes in and she says that Mackenzie was sweet and cute, but she'll never be Maddie. Great.
Cool.
Great. Christy asks Abby how she's feeling about the group, and she says that she kind of wishes that Kalani was here instead of Peyton. The next, 10 minutes of this is insane. They get dressed in the worst outfits I've ever seen in my life.
Not great.
Their makeup is garishly awful.
It's supposed to look cartoonish.
But
it's not correct. It's
I've
not well done.
never seen a drag queen
fucking
look like,
raining outside?
Probably. I've never seen a drag queen look like that ever. Like that, girl, come on. It's it's just like a caricature of
aren't
drag.
these suburban mothers trying to do drag makeup?
Peyton looked crazy.
She looked a little crazy, yeah.
Crazy. But whatever, I guess. They look awful. Those of you who watch Drag Race, Peyton looks like Little Pound Cake boots.
Little Pound Cake. I love drag. I'm discovering right now that I love drag names.
You
Lil Pound Cake.
do it, and that's fine. But I want you to watch a full season of Drag Race so bad. You would love it. If you would sit and watch the Bianca Del Rio season with me, you would love it.
How long are these seasons?
Not very long. The old seasons are not that long.
Could we drink a bottle of wine and just watch it?
Oh my God, I'm going to bust a nut. That's literally all I want to do ever is drink a bottle of wine and watch Drag Race with anybody. It's so fucking good. Bianca Del Rio, Adore Delano, Laganja Estranja. Like, bitch, you don't know
the frantic
anything.
excitement with which you just said, "Oh, I'm gonna bust a nut."
Like, come on, dude. That's all I want to do literally ever is watch drag.
Is bust a nut? Oh.
No, is watch Drag Race. Oh my God. And drink wine sometimes. And it's not... I'm going to proposition you to watch Drag Race after this episode's over and off camera. You would love that show. The seasons are not that long. I'm already in. The episodes are not that long. Girl. Okay, anyway, we're going to talk about it off mic. We need to make a Patreon exclusive of you talking about Drag Race. That would be sick as fuck. Pay some money, put the shit behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Anyway, the group goes, it's awful. It is an insult to bad drag everywhere. I would say it's bad drag. That's an insult to bad drag. You know what I mean? Like, it's worse than that. It's way worse than that.
Damn.
Someone says, I couldn't tell if the judges liked it. And then Chrissy says, or one of the kids after it's over, I think it's Mackenzie, says, I couldn't tell if the judges liked it. And Chloe says, I couldn't tell if anyone liked it.
Yeah. I thought it was Peyton and Chloe, but either way.
Maybe. But it was definitely Chloe that said that.
Two kids were commenting, like, I don't know if anyone liked it.
You can tell she's Christy's daughter. Like,
yes.
I don't know if anybody liked it. Okay, in the awards, Chloe Solo gets third overall. Mackenzie's gets second. Maddie gets first. We knew this was going to happen. Christy is so over it.
I wasn't sure it was going to happen. I thought it would have been Mackenzie third, Chloe second.
Oh, no. Well,
we knew Maddie was going to win.
Because the lyrical solos always have a leg up and blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah.
Well, I guess that doesn't make any sense because they both had lyrical solos.
I don't know anything, so I don't know.
Anyway.
Feel bad for Chloe
Christy,
getting beat by a kid 3 years younger than her.
Yeah. Christy's really over it, and I think Chloe probably is too.
Yeah.
She just feels like defeated about like the state of the ALDC.
Yeah.
The group gets first. That is Alyssa Edwards style rigomoris, girl. There is no way that
the kids looked shocked.
I looked shocked.
Nia's face, she literally was like,
yeah, Beyonce winning country album of the year, like,
yeah,
shocked.
Very much Nia.
Shocked Tina. Moms are in the green room, and Abby comes back, and she's like, Mackenzie was great in the group, whatever. Leslie's like, oh, great, now we have to worry about Mackenzie and Maddie. And Abby says that the girls need to go thank the judges.
Why?
And which they never do. And then they leave so that the moms can fight, and Leslie and Melissa scream at each other, and then that's it. It's the ending of this episode is very strange. And then next week we're back with our BFF, the woman who I love.
Oh, I didn't even watch that. God damn
Kathy's back.
I'm so tired of her.
I love Kathy so much.
Yeah, I like at the very end. I love that Melissa like storms out and yells that Leslie is screwed up in her fucking mind, and Leslie's like, just me?
Amazing, incredible, iconic.
Also,
what?
Overall, this was, I mean, we're funny, but like this was a very boring episode.
Okay, thank you.
And I wasn't going to say before,
it because you always give me a hard time for saying that episodes are boring.
Well, because sometimes you've said it and I thought, oh no, this was like great content, but this one was so stock.
Yeah, this was like, nothing.
We're going to run a few
solos. Even the moments with Leslie, like they were things we always hear from her. Yeah. Melissa was defending Abby, which she always does. Like it was very par for the course.
The drag queens came in, which had potential to be like something else, but like they just like did a little sassy walk and were like, you guys are going to look fabulous. And like that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like they brought someone in like a Vegas showgirl, and she talks about dancing topless.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So that was something to navigate. This episode was just like
the moms are allies, and they're like, oh, period.
Yeah, it just had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that was that.
It's crazy. For anybody who's interested in it, there's a great interview that Jon Stewart did with like a congressperson about drag.
Dismantles him.
He eats that man for breakfast. Please go watch it. You can find it anywhere. It's all over the internet of Jon Stewart because this guy is talking about how drag queen story hours should be illegalized.
Well, they're talking about infringing on like I think it talks about gun rights first, and then there's like children under the age of 18 aren't allowed to vote. Is that infringing free speech? And then it's like, well, is that infringing on drag queens
story
free
time?
Speech?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And it's he just.
And then they bring up the gun stuff.
He just folds him up
like a card table, babe. It's awesome. And he says like the American government has a responsibility to protect.
I'm sorry?
And Jon Stewart goes, I'm sorry. And he says, the American government has a responsibility to protect. And he goes,
certain situations.
And he's like, how many kids have died from a drag show?
Yeah,
it's like
the leading cause of... Oh, God. Just go watch it.
It's everything.
He eviscerates him.
It's everything.
Like Kendrick did to Drake at the Grammys.
True. Although I will say, I hate Drake. If I ever see that man, it's on site. He's on tour right now, and he came out in a hoodie for show 1 and show 2 that had bullet holes in it, and there was some sort of effect in the hoodie that made steam come out of the bullet holes. That's kind of awesome.
That was cool.
That was like the day after the Grammys.
I'm sure he's a great performer.
Yeah, but he's also... Did you ever see that video
Also
of Drake's dick?
No.
Did you ever see that? He sent a video of himself jerking it to a girl who then immediately posted it on the internet.
Good for her.
Should. Good for you.
Well, if it was initially
for
consensual,
Drake, who's a pedophile...
Well, so okay, I
don't know.
You put me in a tough spot right here.
I don't know.
But if he's talking to this woman, I hope she's of age. Let's
Yeah,
get
I have
that
no
out
idea.
there. But if they're like talking and flirting and doing the thing, and then she just like posts meat.
Yeah, I actually don't know where.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I actually don't know the origin of that video, so maybe that was kind of a shitty thing to do. But his dick is crazy, and not in a good way. The dick is like throwing up gang signs. It's like it's very long and very narrow. It looks fake.
Like a spaghetti noodle.
It might be, but it was like, ooh. I got really high with some of my friends one time, and we had a race to see who could find it first. And the bisexual found it first. Love. Be gay, do crime. And put it up on the TV, and we watched it, and it was crazy. Anyway, I don't support revenge porn, but
yeah,
Drake needs to get his comeuppance, I think. Okay, what is your song of the week, dude? We've been talking for like 4 hours, I feel like.
It is.
It's only been 2.
You're going to like this. It's Ratata by Tyler, the Creator.
Oh!
I think that's the best song on the album.
I think
it's the best one.
Oh my God, Eli, I'm so excited, dude. Have you listened to the whole thing?
I did listen to the whole album. I did not care for a lot of it.
What song did you, besides Ratata?
I know you like Sticky. I think Sticky's solid. I like that it samples, it's not Bone Crusher. It's, bum, 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 bum. We used to play that in pep band in high school.
Yeah.
My very white high school.
He also loves marching band stuff, so he composed that song so that it could be performed by pep bands, and pep bands have been specifically HBCUs have been doing it and sending it to him, and he's like freaking out. He's like, "This is the
but
best."
it's a sample from someone else.
Well, but yeah,
that's the thing.
The videos that I've seen have layered other components of Sticky over the sample.
Sure.
So, but it is derivative of something else. That is true. It is.
I don't have a connection to that song. It just.
What other songs on the album do you like?
I think I'd have to go through and listen to it again because I just sat and just listened to it. I wasn't like taking note of each song that I liked.
Balloon is my favorite off of that album. Like Him is also a great song. It's very sad because Tyler, the Creator, his whole platform up until this album has been that he doesn't know who his dad is and that his dad was a deadbeat. And the voice memos that are throughout the album are from his mom. Yeah. And his mom is the one who says, no, I didn't want him in your life, and that's on me. And that's a real conversation. Mm-hmm. And it was like a shift in his career because he'd always thought it was his dad who didn't want to be around. Yeah. But his mom, who he loves and like, dedicates a lot of his awards and stuff to, was like, no, it was me, and you need to forgive me. That was a big deal.
That's crazy. Also, his haircut on the album cover is wild.
He looks awesome. He's like the coolest person ever. I don't know what song I want to pick.
I liked there's a clip. Oh, so you're underprepared, huh?
Yeah.
I like that there's a clip of him, or rather, it was Billie Eilish, and she like called him. She's in an interview and calls him, and then he answers. He goes, "What's up, gay man?" And that's how he answers the phone.
So do you know what that gimmick is that she's doing? She's doing a thing for Glamour where celebrities prank call other celebrities.
And she's like, hey, I need a ride
she's like,
or something.
She says, I shit my pants.
Oh, right.
She's like, I'm at an awards, or I'm at a thing and I shit my pants. And he starts laughing.
Let me go to your house.
He starts laughing and he goes, dude, that's awesome. And she's like, no, I'm serious. And he's like, the fuck you want me to do about it? And she's like, can you go to my house and run me some pants? And he's like, no. He's like, I'm not giving you pants. What the fuck? And she's like, I'm just kidding. This was a prank call. And he's like, sick. Like, he's so unserious.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been listening to a lot of really good music lately, and I'm just having a hard time breaking it down.
Here, let me help.
I think I'm going to pick... Oh, damn. I don't know. I'm stuck between Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, which just came out this last week, and Nosebleeds by Doechii, which is the song that she put out right after she won the Grammy.
Let's do that one.
And, okay, I'm going to do Nosebleeds. And she samples Kanye West, which is not great, but it's her voice. And she says everybody wants to know what Doechii would do if she didn't win. I guess we'll never know, because that's a Kanye West lyric or line from when he won something. And she put it out right after she won Rap Album of the Year about how fucking great she is. And that's awesome.
I just searched, I typed in Nose into Spotify. Nosebleeds, first two that came up.
Sure.
Nostalgia by Pusha T and Kendrick Lamar.
Great song.
Was next.
Oh.
Hold on. Nose on the Grindstone is a song by Tyler Childers.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's an audio book called How to Fart Louder, Longer, and Stronger.
Great.
You
really can't put anything on the internet these days.
Truly.
Like this. I also can I do 2 songs this week?
What if I was just like, no?
Then I would just add it anyway.
Just turn the camera off.
Because you did 2 songs one week.
I don't believe you.
I also want to add Hypnotize by
Notorious B.I.G.?
Yes. I love that song. I've listened to that song a lot recently.
Fuck yeah.
I just like how that song starts. Well, I like the whole thing, but specifically how it starts. It's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. I love that song. Yeah, I was also listening to a lot of Kendrick Lamar this week because he's doing the Super Bowl today, and there's lots of good stuff from him. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with those 2. Thanks for listening. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening to me cry again. Will we ever get to a place where Amanda's not oversharing on the internet? Probably not. Follow us on Instagram if you feel like it. Eli is at Eli_farmer_. I'm at NotAmandaB_. We, who never post, both of us, because I'm going to make you share the blame with me, because you also have access to that account, is at the Pyramid Pod.
I respond to people's DMs sometimes.
Whatever.
I do.
The email for us is thepyramidpodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email. Email us about drag if you want to, about Drag Race. Email me what book you're reading. Email me your Pyramid of Life. Email me your tea about Dance Moms if you have it. Email us pictures of your dog. What?
I think I read a listener pyramid on the last one, didn't I?
I think so.
I did. Okay.
Because we were talking about somebody's dogs.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't forget something.
Ig, you have any more thoughts?
She doesn't any more. That implies she had any.
Oh, she has thoughts. She thinks about how much she loves us. Iggy, can't you see? Sometimes your words just
Sometimes your
hypnotize.
snores are loud as fuck.
True.
I think that's all.
She just looks so anxious. Sorry, I know you probably can't see her, but she just looks so disturbed and anxious.
Yeah.
No, we should be back on track for recordings. I think last week was the only week I'm gonna have to skip. I think it can force you to figure out how to adapt to my schedule for the rest of the weeks. Yeah, I guess that's it. Loving this, loving you, listeners. Good night, Alyssa.
Good night, Alyssa.
Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Stop.
Hell yeah.
Iggy, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me.